there are many other artists who do similar things, possibly also in better quality. Nevertheless, for one or the other reason, you have a feeling that here is something more you can discover. And this is true. Nobody wants to talk about his feelings, especially not to a psychotherapist and artist. And I'm a psychotherapist and artist. My, let's say, approach is to simply ask him how he feels or simply hear one of his stories. And based on this, I'm producing my art piece. This is the case with Sylvia. I'm not doing simply painting, drawing. There is much more information, and this more information I want to produce tailor-made on one person, on the person who is interested in buying my art. So I hear one story of this person and I build a world around this story. It mustn't be a dream, which has much more information regarding the unconscious, but a simple story like with this woman. She's a Austrian. The story was as follows. They were walking by the seaside. The water was quite calm, although waves were coming. So two women are walking by the seaside, nearby the rocks. The one of them, the person in question, chooses to walk down the rocks to get nearer to the water. The other person stays at the road. Here the difference starts. There is a psychotherapeutic school who talks about science. I am also using science. This is the sign of a person. This is the first psychic information, psychic activity. The one person stays on the road, the other person goes down. There's a big difference. And this is a lot of information on the person in question who is going to the waterfront. The waves were not big, but they were coming in a rhythm, and one could observe that there might be a bigger wave approach the coast later. So this person in charge nevertheless goes down. And unfortunately, she is caught up by one very big wave which hits the rocks and nearly tears her into the water. This was a very, very dangerous situation because in this case you can either be in danger of drowning or the wave can throw you on the rocks and you can get unconscious. So very dangerous situation. At the last moment she was able to hold her hand on a rock and she pulled herself out of the waves. She wasn't in the water, but she was in the waves. From this I made a story because this is already a lot of information for me. Let me speak about the question of feelings, which is a kind of parenthesis. We have the emotions, we have the feelings, we have the mood. The emotion is the general term which relates to things like anger, joy, sadness. The mood is something which is the background music without having any specific let's say, reason, we go through the day in a specific mood. Here we are unconsciously already related to what is going on in our surrounding. The third term, which is the feeling, relates to something very specific. I'm happy about this. I'm sad because this has happened. And here we have Sylvia, the person in question. She is enjoying the walk by the seaside. She feels happiness, joy, but something was missing, and she walked down to the seaside. This makes big difference with the other person who stayed up. There was a positive feeling, but this positive feeling wasn't enough. Could we simply say that it's an additional element of danger which would let her feel a joy which is mixed up with a taste of danger, suspense? Did she know that the situation will get very dangerous? I cannot answer this, but it could be. There is always the thesis and the antithesis. There are two feelings, and both feelings together make a sign. And one sign of this person is the wave. And the calm water at the same time.